Hello, Jodie here. I'm here at the Victoria Centre in Nottingham, and behind me is Emmett's Aquahorological Tintinnabulator. I'll say that again, that's Emmett's Aquahorological Tintinnabulator. Used to be downstairs and now they moved it upstairs, so it's a bit hidden right at the back upstairs in the Victoria Centre in Nottingham. So if you ever come visit, come and see it, chuck a penny into the wishing well bit. And every hour on the hour it plays a tune and it all opens up and does a lovely dance. But yeah, anyway, aside from that, oh, here we go, this time. This is the half hour actually, so it's a mini version and then they do a big version at the hour. There we go. Pretty, isn't it? So I hope you can still hear over the top of that. But yeah, I wanted to have a little rant about assessment, I'm afraid. I'm now agnostic in terms of I'm fully freelance, so I'm not attached to any tracking system or anything else at the moment, so I'm just going to have a bit of a rant about assessment in general. Because obviously, as we all know, blah blah blah, life after levels went 2014, new curriculum, lots of levels, and we were given autonomy to do what we wanted. But actually most people have kind of fallen into doing the same thing, which is some sort of recreation of pseudo levels. And so there was a long time when everyone was just doing pseudo levels of one sort or the other, whether you call them emerging, expected, exceeding, whatever, paddling, swimming and diving, all sorts of different things people are calling them. But essentially it's the same thing. It's just kind of like putting children into a box every term and expecting them all to make kind of the same progress all the time, which we know is not exactly how it happens, and yet that was what was kind of purported to be the thing that was going to happen, so of course people try and go along with it. And on the main, I think the curriculum has helped children to not fall behind if they've started from year one on the new system. So that's a positive. But now what I'm seeing is a bit of a trend to say, right, this life after levels thing isn't really life after levels, we've just kind of recreated it in a different way, and I've been saying that since the beginning, that we need to be careful about how we actually use that data. It's great for cohort analysis, it's not necessarily great for giving out to individuals. So you're expected, you're emerging, you're exceeded. It's just exactly the same as saying you're a 2A or a 2B. It doesn't really mean anything. But what we've got now is a bit of a trend for now saying, right, well, because teacher assessment doesn't work and it seems like a lot of faff and a lot of hassle to do, to keep teachers happy, we'll ditch that and we'll just do testing every now and again. It's more reliable, we'll just test them often, they'll be more used to doing tests ready for SATs and so on. And I get the logic. And I'm all for doing tests regularly to make sure that children know and can apply stuff, and that's all fine. But I think ditching teacher assessment is also not necessarily the way to go. I mean, what do you do for children who can't access to tests? Are we going to just not give them any assessment, or are they going to have something different, and then the teachers are going between two different systems? So that can end up in a mess as well. And overall, I think what I'm kind of starting to see is that everyone's just kind of going onto different bandwagons. And I want you to kind of imagine you've gone to a wedding or something, there's a big buffet, massive buffet of food for the evening, and you're starving hungry, and you think, great, I need something, I'm not being given anything else, thanks DFE. So I need to kind of come up with something to replace the fact that I haven't been given any food, so I'm going to go and have some buffet. But then you see like everyone's taking sausage rolls and you think, oh, they must be the thing, I should take sausage rolls, everyone else is doing sausage rolls, so I'll have sausage rolls. And then you don't just get to pick whatever you want. You don't particularly like sausage rolls, and you wouldn't have picked them for yourself for your buffet, but they're there and everyone else is picking them, so you think, oh, I better have them. And then the next day everyone gets sick. But because everyone's had the same stuff, nobody knows what's made everyone sick, so they just assume the whole buffet has. When actually, if somebody had just not had the sausage rolls and not been sick, you would have found out it was the sausage rolls that made everyone sick. And then you start being able to eliminate. It's like the elimination diet. If you've got allergies, you cut everything out and then you start adding things back in until you get the right combination. And I feel that that's what's not happened with the assessment after levels, is that we needed to kind of eliminate everything and then start adding things back in. But people are so worried about accountability in Ofsted, and I know why, I fully understand why, and that's a problem from the top. But individually in schools, it was kind of like, oh, this has been taken away, I need to get something else in quick, and kind of phase the two over. And nobody kind of gave themselves, well, a few people did, but not many people gave themselves time to just eliminate everything and then add in what was missing. So eliminate the lot, find out what you're really craving or what you really need back, and go, right, okay, I need a bit of teacher assessment, but maybe I don't need to track every single thing. Maybe I just need to track some key assessment indicators or whatever. or you start picking things back in. It's like an elimination diet, and then you can figure out what's making you sick. Like if you get to the point where you've added the sausage roll back in and it makes you sick, then don't touch the sausage rolls. So I think that's what people need to do a bit more, instead of just jumping on bandwagons of different things, or doing what everyone else does, or do what got someone else a good Ofsted, because we know that it wouldn't be just one thing that they were doing that got a good Ofsted. So don't take that one thing to your school either. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work. So try eliminating for a bit and give yourself time to see what you're missing and see what you're going to add back in. And then when something gets added back in and it starts tipping the balance and going wrong again, that's the problem. Take that back out, bring something different in until you get the right balance. Rather than just going, right, everyone's going down a route of testing now. Everyone went down pseudo levels. Now everyone's going down just test and don't do teacher assessment, or don't use teacher assessment. But the teacher's really good at teacher assessment if you just let them do it without the accountability. So just change that culture. Let them do the teacher assessment, but don't make it about results. Make it about, how do we help these children? How do I help this teacher? How do we put the right support in place? If you make it about that, then teacher assessment isn't a bad thing, even if they get it wrong. Because if they get it wrong and you can't find that what they're saying matches what's in the books and everything, then you've got a talking point. So just try eliminating what you think is everything and adding things back in until it works for you and for your school, because you're all different. So yeah, a bit of a rant, and I went a bit all over the place. I'll try and do some more coherent ones on different specific things that I've seen go wrong in schools and things that I've seen go right, although as with everything, it's going to be what's right for your school. So try the elimination diet, cut it all out, and then add in what seems right to you until you hit the maximum point if you've got everything you need. Better go, baby's crying. But I hope you enjoyed Emmett's horological tintinnabulator. Look it up, it's very fascinating. It goes back a long time, designed by Emmett, as you might guess. And enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.